What's up, guys? It has been a while. Sorry for the background noise. My dishwasher is cleaning right now. I figured I'll give a little update while I cook. Well, actually, it's not really cooking. It is prepping some food for myself, some healthier foods. I'm trying to get a little bit healthy. I'm trying to find my tripod, but I think it might be in my mom's car. So, we're gonna have to balance you guys somewhere. But I'm going to be prepping some different cucumbers and peppers dishes. So I got my sweet peppers. I like the yellow and the orange ones. Got the baby cucumber. And this is the recipe that I'll be doing. Without the chili crisp the only thing is I didn't do chili crisp because I can't do that much spice. But I'm going to chop this stuff up, and I think the recipe calls for the cucumber and the peppers to be cut in little circles like this. See, I don't even think you guys can see that. So little circles like this. And I'm going to do the same thing to the cucumbers. There we go. I got a chair. It's actually my outdoor chair. So I'm just chopping up the peppers in little circles, and then I'm putting it in this container because it has the sesame ginger dressing that it called for. Alright, so I'm going to cut this up and give a little life update. I did summer classes for my criminal justice degree, and I've been off from that since I think the 5th was my last, I had to do my final by the 8th. I think I did my final on the 5th or the 6th. And so I've had a little bit of a break from school since then. I'm waiting on my financial aid to click in so I can pay for my semester coming up, because I added a class, so I can't pay for it out of pocket this semester. I mean, even the other semesters were a challenge and stuff. So, but in the state of Massachusetts now, our governor did free college tuition for community colleges for a 2-year program. If you already have a bachelor's degree or a master's, you can't go back and get free college. It's just for people that need their associates, which is me. If I stay on the track that I am and I don't let my health get in the way, I should be graduating by spring of 2026, which will be the semester that goes January to April. If everything goes to plan like it has been, I could graduate then, which would be awesome. I already have some stuff lined up for jobs. I mean, it helps knowing cops my whole life and stuff, and not in a bad way, in good ways. And where I work with my mom and stuff in the chamber, it helps knowing people. So I already kind of have my life after college kind of set up and stuff to a degree. There's still some aspects that I'll have to figure stuff out. But yeah, so school's going okay. Sometimes it's a challenge because of my health. I'm actually really nervous for this upcoming semester because I actually have to get up early and go to the college. And my anxiety has been really bad. It is more in the lines of panic attack now. And it's panic attack with like agoraphobia, apophobia, something like that. I'll put it on the screen right here, what it is. And it kind of stinks, though, because, like, I used to love going out, like, hanging out with people, but my panic attacks make it so it's the fear of going places. And I always had that thought in my head, and then when I took psychology over the summer, I realized, like, oh my god, like, that's what I have. And of course, I've seen so many doctors, therapists, like, all of that, and nobody could ever figure out what was wrong. They would just put me on medicine, and it's like, none of it would help. It would actually make it worse. Like, the last medicine I was just on for my anxiety, when we just thought it was anxiety, literally made my panic attacks worse. Like, panic attacks, you feel like you're having a heart attack, you can't breathe, like, all these things. And when I was on Zoloft, and man, it like kicked my butt. Like, I couldn't even leave the house, like, even just walking to my mailbox, which is like not even that far. So I stopped that. I messaged my doctors and I was like, no, I can't, like, it's making it worse. When my panic attacks set in, I breathe really heavy. I get, like, really, really, really nervous that, like, I'm gonna get sick. And it also stems from my stupid underlying stomach issues that we still have no idea. I mean, a lot of it, yes, is caused by anxiety and all that, too. But I can eat something one day and it not affect me, and then the next time I eat it, it's like killing me. So I just don't understand what's going on with that. I mean, I get no answers from the doctors. They just want to keep wanting to do a colonoscopy, and I'm like, I can't go on a liquid diet or take any of those medicines, because sometimes the medicines to make you go to the bathroom sometimes don't even affect me until, like, the next day, and it's, like, really bad. So it's like, why am I going to put myself through something like that if it's not going to help me said day that I need it to help me? So back to this. I got these all cut up, the peppers anyways. They're kind of cool, like, they look so funny like that. So I'm going to clean up this part, and then I'm going to cut the cucumbers. Alright, so now I got the cucumbers. Move this cutting board back here so I can just have one at a time. Usually, I will take the skin off this, but because it wants me to do little circles, I think I might keep the skin on. So, back to my story. So yeah, the anxiety has been pretty bad. It makes me really nervous to go to school and stuff. But I'm only up there for 9:30 to 10:45, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I have another class that's fully online with that same teacher, so, like, if I ever have questions or anything, I can ask him before coming back home. And then every other Thursday, I have probably the longest class I have ever been in, just one class. Luckily, it's the high flex classes again, so I can do it from home on my computer. It's a Zoom class. And I've had this teacher before, and he knows that sometimes I'll have days that I won't answer and stuff because of not feeling great. But it's 3:30 to 6:20 at night. Like, that just, it blows my mind. Like, that's gonna be so wild to sit on my computer for 3 hours. Like, almost exactly 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes. And I'm glad that it's a high flex class. So, like, at first, when I learned about this class from this teacher, because he always had it after our classes, I was like, oh my God. I was like, there's no way. I was always saying to my friend and my parents, like, there's no way I can sit up at the college by myself with my health issues. Not really by myself, but without my close-knit people for 3 hours. And my mental capacity, whatever else I have going on, I can't sit still for more than like 10, 15 minutes, let alone 3. So, like, I would have to get up and, like, walk around. And, I mean, obviously that's not okay during class. But, like, if I had to go up to the college, I probably would have had to do that. So, I think I'm only going to do 2 cucumbers because that's a lot compared to the peppers. What does the recipe call for? It says 3 to 4 mini cucumbers sliced. But this says 6 to 7 peppers. Alright, so I gotta do 2 more peppers then. I'll do this guy. And I'll do this dark orange one. And then I can do that other pepper, or cucumber. Do the pepper first. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm nervous, but I know I can do it. I have to get out of my head. Like, I know that the class is only an hour. My friend will be in the parking lot if, like, I have an issue. Like, sometimes, I'm almost 30 years old, and I feel like I'm such a baby sometimes. Like, I feel like I can't do anything. I appreciate my friend helping and all that and stuff, but it's like, I'm almost 30 years old. Like, why am I such a baby? But, like, I can't control. They say you only can control so much of your own behavior, but a lot of it is the chemical imbalances within your mind. So, yes, I can control at some points how I feel, but at other points I can't control that because there is a chemical imbalance of my subconscious that just doesn't want to function the way that it's supposed to. And, like, I get picked on a lot. Like, I try to understand that it's jokingly with some of our close-knit people, but sometimes I actually kind of take it to heart because it's like, it's something I struggle with every day, and I feel like I'm a loser sometimes too, because I don't go out and have fun. I don't do the things that most of my friends do, like concerts and like go out to the bars or whatever. I don't really drink anymore. I do, but I don't. So it's like, I have my 3 places that are my comfort. My mom's office, which is also my office, my house, and my friend's house. And, sometimes even just the drive to either the office or my friend's house is nerve-wracking. I mean, my friend lives 4 minutes away, and the office, depending on traffic, is like 10 minutes away, and depending on who's driving. And it's like, my anxiety happens a lot too when I'm hot. So mom's car right now doesn't have AC, so I don't go ever in her car. If I have to go down to her office, I wait for dad to be in town, or if my friend is available to bring me down. And I mean, I have like the cool like cold cloths now and other things that can keep me cool in the car ride, but my mental capacity of being in a hot car and trying to cool down the car, I just get too anxious and it just throws me for a complete loop and stuff. So I'm really struggling with that. I think that's my biggest struggle right now. And like, I want to do well in school and all that, and like, my brain the other night was like, oh, you should just not go to that class and do it another semester. Either way, it will be the same time. Like, I wish this teacher did HyFlex classes or just did all of his classes online, but I think because this class is ethical issues, it's going to be a harder class. I mean, I've already seen the syllabus and stuff, and it makes me nervous. But here's this. I have dressing in the bottom, but I might have to put a little bit more. So I'll be right back. So I'm shaking this up. It kind of popped open. I actually don't need to add any more of the dressing. Let's see what this looks like. It smells really good. Looks pretty good. I gotta add a little bit more of this. This stuff is amazing. If you guys don't have a Trader Joe's near you, Amazon is where I get them. You get them either in a 1 or a 2 pack. They give you the option. So, I'll just use my finger to try one. Definitely needs more of the dressing, because all I taste is the cucumber and the pepper. So this is a dressing. The recipe that I found, they used Broggs, which is the apple cider with the mother. But this one's really good. And it's healthy for you. I have been starting to go gluten-free and stuff like that. So this has no soy, no canola, keto and paleo friendly, made with apple cider vinegar. It's actually really good. Whoa. Definitely need more though. Whoa, that was a little bit too much. Yes, I know I'm stirring it with my knife, but why dirty another utensil? So, directions say to store it in the fridge for 30 minutes to get it nice and cold, which I think would be a good idea because this dressing was warm. I will show you guys how I make my mom chicken piccata and avocado spread. It's avocado spread, but it's still kind of chunky, but she loves eating that with the chicken piccata I make. And we'll have story time about that when we get back. Alright. You got lemons that are focused not me. There we go. So this is chicken piccata I found on Pinterest, of course. So you need chicken breast. I don't have any regular chicken breasts. I have chicken breast tenderloins. It's either lemon pepper seasoning or fresh lemon zest. I always use, forgot to get it out, McCormick's Perfect Pinch Lemon and Pepper. It is so good. I think this is actually my brand new one, so I have to actually open it. No, I'm not going to try to show you. It's on the top. So, use that. Then, I don't do salt, because I feel like this is pretty salty. Then, instead of the flour that they do for the breading and stuff, I do, breadcrumbs, because, being that I'm trying to be gluten-free, this doesn't affect me as much as flour does. And Mom likes it better as breadcrumbs than just flour. So we do that. The olive oil goes in the pan. Country Crock plant butter. So I made it with regular butter. Oh, now you can see it. The first time. But then I realized I can't do regular butter anymore. So I use this butter, not in the stick form, but like the creamy version of it for cooking for myself. And so I started cooking the chicken piccata with this and actually made it really good. So you use 6 tablespoons of butter. At the end you put 4 in, and then the other 2 you use to put in the pan. I actually use this full stick. This is 8 tablespoons, or half a cup of butter, if you want to put it that way. But I use 4 in the pan when I'm cooking it. I use this more than I use the olive oil. Then you have minced garlic, which is still in the fridge. I have to get out. I do use the 2 tablespoons of flour at the end for the sauce because it thickens it. So that's just 2 tablespoons of that. Then, where's my little contraption? Oh, right in front of me. This is a juicer, a lemon and lime juicer. So lemon part you have to put up here, put the lemon here. If you're doing limes, you put that there, the lime there. So that, I use 2 full lemons, depending on the juice of one. Like this one feels like it'll have a lot of juice, so if this one has a lot of juice, then I won't do this one. But usually the recipe only calls for 2 tablespoons. We like our stuff lemony here. Chicken, it calls for chicken stock. We use chicken broth. This will be the exact amount that I need. Cooking wine, I have more in my cabinet that'll measure out. So let's get started. Oh, and I measure everything out before I even start cooking into here. So this will be garlic, minced garlic. This will be lemon juice, chicken broth. Actually, I'll do flour, garlic, lemon, chicken broth, vinegar, or white wine. So let's get measuring and cutting. Alright, so here's the minced garlic. Usually calls for, oh man, got it on my shirt. Usually calls for only a teaspoon. Because I use the tablespoon a lot, I just use the top of the tablespoon and do about that. Yes, waste a container, but it helps when it comes down to after I cook up the chicken. I I can just start pouring everything. I don't have to measure it all out because it's a quick process. This meal is definitely an interesting meal, to say the least. Pour in here what I think is going to be good. Whoops, that was a little bit too much. This will probably actually make it good that I did so much flour. I usually put lemon pepper in this flour to give it some good flavor. I'm going to need a little bit more than that. So, some lemon pepper in that. Shake it up so it gets all in. So there's that. And then when I do the breadcrumbs, I get these things. So I use my Pyrex dishes. This one's for egg wash. This is breadcrumbs, and then when I cook the chicken, or like after I put in the breadcrumbs, it goes in here and stuff. So when I do this part for the breadcrumbs, so I only open the breadcrumbs like a little bit like that, so try to do that, but it looks like I might have to actually use the whole thing. We'll do about that for right now, and if I need more, I can add more. So I'll put this up, so the breadcrumbs are in there, and then I always put a bunch of lemon pepper in there. I always leave this out, so if I need to use it again, I can. I use tongs to do this. So the little one is when it's raw chicken, and I put it from the egg to the breadcrumbs, and then the big guy is for when it's in the pan, and I take it out when it's cooked. Because you never want to cross-contaminate even your cooking utensils. So then I just use this tong to mix it all together. So there's like kind of equal parts. This part is like by eye. Keep getting into my own light, but that's fine. So then this will go over here. I do also use this guy when I'm making the sauce to like stir it and stuff. It usually calls for using a whisk, but I find this can mix everything pretty good and like scrape the corners, so that's why. So for the egg wash, I usually do 2 eggs. Do this. I gotta get a paper towel. Break this guy, so you just break them in there. Put that there. There. And I put a little water in there to give it a little bit more liquid to it, so it will be nice and fluffy and get a good amount. So I'll do this. There you go, that. And you just break that yolk. So do that for a little bit. Make sure that it's good. It's getting a little dark in here, even though I have the light on, but looks like a storm is about to roll through. So I kind of lean it to one side, get it all mixed together, and don't need the fork anymore. This chair is gonna be in the way, so we'll do that. But this is what the egg looks like now. I'll stir it up, so we put it over here. So we got the eggs here, breadcrumbs here. Here's the pan to go from the breadcrumbs to here. I have to get out the pan that I usually use. It's actually down here. This guy. So I use this guy. This guy has seen better days for sure. Get some more light. This was my breakfast pan, and it needs to move. So we're gonna do that. This is a very old potato, and we'll get you back in a minute. So now I'm gonna measure out the wine. I know that this bottle is not gonna have a 1/4 cup. Oh, just under. That stinks. Now I actually have to open that other one just to use a little drop. Oh, got it this time. Yeah, we'll give a little bit extra. This stuff smells so potent. My God, I smelled it one time and I was like, oh God, like, holy moly. I definitely have to turn on another light though. Dang. Getting a little dark. So that's that. We're gonna cover this before I lose it. So I got can opener for the chicken broth. Even though I know that this is gonna be the measurement that I need, I think I still will use a measuring cup first. So it's supposed to be a cup, I think. Yeah. So oh wow. I'm glad I did, because there's still a good amount in here. So this is just going to go off to the side for now until I can figure out what I want to do with it. Don't think I need either of these. I don't need those yet anymore. These now have to get washed. Got that. Got white wine, chicken broth, flour, garlic. This one is going to be the lemon. So now we got to cut that. Don't need that anymore. Yeah, I'm going to use this guy. This is my favorite knife. So nice. I got this one too. And then when I did my cucumber earlier, this is my favorite knife too. I've never been like a big person in knives before, but my best friend has bought me a bunch of knives because my knife collection at my house is subpar. So just cut, oop, that lemon's in the way. So I just cut them in half. Let me open this guy back up. There. Push right here. See, even though I thought this was going to be a good lemon, really isn't. I mean, if I was doing the amount that the recipe called for, yes, that half a lemon would have been great. But we like a lot of lemon. This one is not juicing that well. It is and it isn't. It's a little rough. So that's about how much I got, but I am gonna cut the other one open because we like lemon here. And where Mom likes the piccata and the avocado spread together, she loves the lemon lime mixture. I want to get as much lemon as I can. Like, dang. This lemon is not lemon. It's not squeezing, juicing. Goodness. But it's the best it's gonna be. I'll wash that off because I'm gonna have to make the avocado lemon stuff in a little bit, so I will clean off that. Now that is cut. Lemon. And that's, I usually pile up everything in the order that it goes in, like after I cook the chicken. So it's the 3 tablespoons of butter, then the garlic together, then you put the wine in, slowly put the chicken in, and then lemons last. And flour, the last tablespoon of butter, and the flour goes in last. So now I'm going to prepare the chicken. I have a very love-hate for tenderloins because the tenderloin is a pain in the butt. So, put a tray of chicken there, and now I have to go through this chicken and take the skin off, and like the extra skin is just gross. That just wants to peel right down to the tender. So, yeah, this piece. See, this is a piece that, like, I know it's a waste. My dad always gets so mad when I do something like that. But it's just easier to do it that way. And then I just cut up little chunkies. See, in the tenderloin, the tender is still right there. So I have to come in with my little knife. Cut that away, and then I'll come in, and if I think these pieces are too big, I'll come in and cut this. So I'm not going to bore you guys with me cutting the chicken, so I will be back when it's all cut up. So I cut all of the chicken. I got it all prepped on both trays. So now I'm going to cut the butter in the way that I need it. So I needed 3 for the end and 1 for the end. And the rest of it is what I cook in the pan. So I got that all prepped, and I'm just going to cut it up. Alright, so I got the chicken all cut up. I cut the butter up. This is what I need. And I got some there. And then the other butter's over here. So now I'm going to move you guys over here. Maybe. Alright, that's kind of okay. So, I got the egg wash. My dog is playing over there, so if you hear weird noises, it's my dog. I got the egg wash here, breadcrumbs here, the pan where I put them after they're breadcrumbed. And then I have a dish on the stovetop where I'll put them when they're cooked. So, take these guys, start egg washing a bunch. I try to get them all egg washed and breaded before I start the butter because I don't want the pan to be too hot. I did that one time and I like completely burnt them. So I just put them in the egg wash, shake a little of the excess off, put it in the pan with the breadcrumbs. The last time I made this with the tenderloins, I used a lot of breadcrumbs. So I don't have much breadcrumbs left in the container. So hopefully that's not the case this time. And so I'm just going to do this. And I will show you guys them all breaded once I get them all done before I put them in the pan. I'm actually just gonna fucking do all of that. Get them all coated. I don't usually do it this way, but I don't want to spend my whole day in the kitchen. I gotta go onto the computer and stuff, so those are like that, and I will be back in a little bit. Alright, so I got it all breaded. It's all breaded in there. It's gonna go about here, and then I got this stuff melting. That's the butter and a little oil. I turn it this way because it's easier. This is gonna be the pan for after the fact. So I'm gonna let that heat up a little bit more. Let's see if it's ready. Yeah, it's about ready. So I don't usually use a utensil to put them in, because I try to fit as many as I can in here, so I'm not sitting here for hours cooking it. Like, I don't have a problem making this for my mom, but like sometimes it just gets so tedious to sit here and just keep cooking it. So I try to load it up so it cooks faster per se. And that's about it that I'm going to do right now. I need a little bit more butter, but I'm going to let this cook up, all this cook up, and I will show you the finished cooked chicken and then the process of the sauce. Better got some crispy chicken there. So I'll let that cook up a little bit more because like these pieces up here are a little thick and I'd rather overcook them than undercook them. I mean, once you make the sauce, you gotta put it back in the pan with the sauce and all that after you make it, but I like to kind of overcook it. And like, I'll take a knife probably to that one, but that's one of the thick ones. Maybe this baby one over here, but it's not sizzle. got a good amount in. So let that guy cook, and then we just got a little bit left. And then after this cooks up and stuff, we then start prepping the sauce. Add a little bit of oil. Whoop, that was a lot of oil. Get some more liquid going through here. That's the only problem, is it like soaks up all the liquid, so I just put some oil in there. So now we're just gonna wait for it to be done. So I got the last batch in. I just crammed them all in there because there's only gonna be a couple. Got butter all over with the last little bit of butter. Let this sizzle up, all that. And then I will show the process of the liquid. So this part's going to get a little crazy, so I'm going to be taking these off in a second. Just got to check some of these thick ones. Oh, that one did not want to cut open. Yeah, some of these guys are still kinda raw, but not really. But like I said before, I'd rather them get overcooked than undercooked. I know this little baby one is done. This one's definitely done. That one's definitely done. Yeah, I'm just going to let them go a little bit longer. Yeah, they're looking like they're ready to come off. So I'm going to take these guys off. Tray's over here now. And you don't clean the pan before you start cooking the sauce, because like if I were to use flour, it would have been like baked on to here, but because I use breadcrumbs, it just is like loose and stuff. So this can go there. Now we're doing 3 tablespoons of butter. And that is 3 tablespoons. And then we get the garlic. A little bit more garlic than I usually do. And we gotta bring this guy in. Get this to melt. And then in comes the flour. Usually you would use a whisk for this part, but like I said earlier, this thing works perfectly to get it all incorporated. It helps that it flattens it to get it to go. Then we come in quickly, splash this in. That is the wine. Mix that all in, get all the blackness to be incorporated, and it starts thickening pretty fast because of that little bit of flour. And then this part is the chicken broth, and you go gradually, pour a little bit in, get it to incorporate. And I actually have my heat too high. Pop that down a little bit. And then we do a little bit more. Mix it in, a little bit more. Now that I turn the heat down, it's gonna slow the process a little bit, but it's actually good because you don't want to overheat this. You don't want to overcook it. It looks pretty good. I wish I had a better angle for you guys, but gotta do what we gotta do. And I don't have anybody else here to hold the camera for me. This is looking pretty good. Just keep mixing it. You don't want to leave it to start sticking to the bottom. And I got like a little bit left. So this part I'll just pour all of the rest in. And let this incorporate a little bit. You gotta let it simmer. And then lemon juice comes in. Now you're gonna let that simmer for about 5 minutes and get thickened. Simmer for a few minutes. Put the last piece of butter in and then let that melt in and then put the chicken in. So I'm usually in a rush when I make this, but where I'm making it so early in the day, well, afternoon I guess now, I'm not gonna rush the process. But I'm gonna put that there. Gonna come in with the last bit of butter. Let's see if I can do this part one-handed. Whoop, that splashed, but didn't get me. Cut all over here. This is the part that I don't like about this meal, is it's so messy. So you just let that melt in a little bit. I turned the heat back down to about 2.5, because you don't want it to bubble. Just want it to melt in and start putting in the chicken. It's still kind of hot. Where I'm doing this with one hand, I usually dump the chicken in, but I can't do that with one hand because I want to show you guys the process. Alright, so we got all those guys in there, so then we gotta get it all covered. This is a little bit more liquidy than I wanted, and I'm not sure why. So we're gonna let it sit in here. And this is when I usually change from this cooking utensil, to the big spatula, because it's easy for me to mix everything. So I'll come in with this guy. And once I let it do that for a little bit, I'll go in and scoop on all sides and flip it around. I'm also not left-handed, so can't do that left-handed. So just do that. Let these guys sit in here for a while. Let it get thick. So just let it sit like that. Actually, I'm gonna do that so it doesn't melt. And yeah, so I'm just gonna let it sit and cook like that and get all in its juices. So this is what it looks like when it's cooked. I'm actually gonna try this piece. Put you up here. Maybe. So good. It's almost done. Once it's done, I'm gonna put it, I think I'm gonna put it back in this dish. I usually don't. I usually put it in like a container like this. but I think I'm just going to put it back in there instead of dirtying more dishes. So I'm going to let it go a little bit more, and then hopefully the dishwasher will be done soon so I can clean the dishes. It's the one thing that I don't like about this meal is it takes a lot of dishes. And I mean, I probably do it the most messed up way. I do way too much. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I gotta check school stuff. Hopefully some school stuff has popped up. Oh, Dad and I are gonna try this tonight. Maybe. Candied salmon. I don't know. It's fully cooked and ready to eat. The recipe on the back gives it for a pizza, but I don't have anything to make pizza, and I can't really eat pizza. And then I have a teriyaki salmon that I'm gonna make also. Oh, I got these at Shaw's the other day, mini Cinnies. It's got caramel in it, but the only problem I have is it's like only part of it. I got caramel, and then I got regular cinnamon. I might have one of these actually today, cinnamon one. And after I'm done with this chicken, I'll show you guys these new sour pineapple things I got. Oh my god. So sour, but so good. So I'm going to finish this up, get this all cleaned up, put it in the fridge, and then I'll go back to the freezer, show you guys that stuff. So there it is, all done. I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to move it over here though. Let it cool down. The lid's underneath there. I'm watching my YouTube, Crazy Middles on YouTube, my favorite YouTube family. Actually, no, this is Crazy Pieces, but wait, let's see if it'll hold it. So that's a Crazy Pieces kid, and then those are Crazy Middles. They're cousins, all adopted kids. Check out both channels. I love Crazy Pieces and Crazy Middles. They're awesome. Even if the stupid people on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram all bash them, I think they're still awesome. So I have a couple in a container, so I'm going to eat these ones. But this is what it is. It's Fruit Riot Sour Pineapple, freshly frozen pineapple splashed with lemon juice and a sour candy coating. It's actually really good. There's only 40 calories. If you're allergic to coconut, you can't have it. It's made in a facility with nuts, so just be careful. I love the back of the bag. It has like funny things here. So it says, "Nature's candy, now even candier." It's so funny. This company is hysterical. It says, "Is it fruit? Is it candy? Fruit? Frandy? Who gives a fruit? You don't belong in a box, and neither do we. You can keep us in this bag, though." And then it says, "Sassy at every bite. Size of pineapple will vary because nature doesn't copy and paste," which you can see it's 3 different size pineapples in there. It says, "Keep frozen. Do not store refrigerated or at room temperature, and do not refreeze, or else your fruit will get mushy and won't refreeze right. And then you'll be sad, and so will we. Don't make us sad. Use your freezer. Okay, bye." I thought that was hysterical when I read that the other day. So, looks like this. Let's see if you can see it. Come on, focus. There we go, kinda. It's like this pineapple with like sugar coating. It doesn't want to focus. Come on, focus on the pineapple. Nah, it doesn't want to focus, but sugar coated. And I pucker so bad trying this the other day. I tried to give it to my mom yesterday, and she took like the tiniest little bite and then just spit it out because it was just so sour. That's a hard piece. So sour. But like, I like sour candy. So this is a better alternative to that because it's healthier. That's the inside of it. So sour, but so good. So I actually think I'm going to make the avocado thing, so I'm going to make you guys right there. Sorry, this is an alpha angle of me. Again, I don't have my tripod. So I'm going to cut the avocado. Gotta clean my knife off though. I'm going to cut the avocado, see how mushy it actually is. I think I might have to. This one might be a better one. She might just be getting a little bit, because this one's not that good. Avocados have been hard to come by lately. This is a really weird angle, but I kind of like it because the light is. But I'm going to cut it up, see what it needs to do, and see how much juice of this I need to do. It's definitely not ripe enough, because usually I can just spin it like that. But yeah, it's not ripe yet, so I'm gonna have a little problem. I mean, obviously you can see it's nice and green, but it's a little hard still, so I'm gonna have a problem getting these guys out. So usually I can just stick spoon in right under it and scoop it out. Ooh, I can, but it's definitely hard. Yeah, that didn't do it the way that I usually can get it. And that's solely because it's not ripe yet. This guy's gonna be a pain in the booty. My least favorite thing about avocado is getting the skin off, but also getting so green from it. So this half I cut. I'm definitely only gonna make her a little bit, I think. So now I just cut it in very thin pieces, and then I'll cut it in like little chunks, and then I'm gonna have to put it in my mincer because this is gonna be really chunky. I mean, I might try to cut it super small and then try to just mash it, but as it is, trying to cut it right now is a pain in the butt. So I'm gonna get this all cut up. So I'm gonna try to just mash it like this. It's gonna make a mess because it's really not ripe enough. And even if I got my blender out and tried to do it, I don't even think my blender would work that good. It's not really mashing, it's just kind of smushing it everywhere. This also is like the smallest cutting board because I used the big ones for the chicken, and I don't have room to clean it right now in the sink. I also usually use one of those Pyrex dishes to mush. I think if I get this mushed a little bit like this, I can use the mincer, and then it might work a little bit better. But it's getting there. I mean, it's as good as it's gonna be. So I got this getting down. So it's getting there. I'm gonna try to put it in the mincer to get it to go down a little bit. The cord's not long enough for me to mince it up here, so I'll just have to show you guys after. Here's my mincer. Little button here, it's not gonna go because the lid's not on, but I'm gonna try to get this to mince a little bit so it mashes a little better. Last time I tried this, it really didn't work too well. This is definitely not made for avocados. But we will try. I just flung a piece of avocado somewhere. I gotta find it. So it's gonna go in like that. That's what it looks like in there. So then you gotta put this lid on. Make it click. Yeah, that's what it does. It separates. It goes on to either side. So then I have to take that back out. And then scoop it back down. Try to get it to go. I might have to get a little bit of the lime. I'm gonna have to juice another lime because this is definitely not enough. Get some juice in there. That's the only problem I have with this thing. It does that. It separates. So, I mean, it's better than it was. So I'll put it in the container with the lime, and then I'll kind of smush it that way because that's what it looks like. Alright, well, I finished the avocado stuff. I forgot to film, but it's not the best. It's as good as it's gonna be. Not my favorite, but she'll like it. I put the chicken in the fridge. The dishes are finally done, so I'm putting those away. And I think that's gonna be about it for this video. There's not much else going on. I'm just gonna relax, go check school stuff in a little bit after I do all these dishes. Gotta do all these before my dad comes home. And that's about it. So, hope you enjoyed this little update and like cook with me kind of vlog. I'm gonna really try to start doing it again. I may try to vlog like when I go to school. Just depends on my anxiety and stuff, and it'll be on my phone. I'm not gonna take this with me. This is too big and expensive. So that will be in about 2 weeks from tomorrow I start school, which is nerve-wracking. I don't even want to think about it. But hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.